Hey, TGIF, it's Friday, 25th of February. We are this far away from March, this far away from spring. Bring it on. This is Freight Broker TV. In this video, we're going to be talking about how to negotiate with your customer. The who, what, when, why, how, all of that fun stuff that's coming up. Hey, how you doing? My name is Mike. This is FBTV, Freight Broker TV. I'm your host. We've been doing this for several years now, and we've built up a pretty good following. Like to grow it more, we need your help to do that. If this is your first time here and you haven't subscribed, or even if you've been here before and you still haven't subscribed, please, by all means, click the subscribe, the follow button, whatever. Click the bell, leave a comment if you wish. Matter of fact, comments. Generally, if you got a question, you want to drop a message, that's fine. Do it in the comments. We'll pick it up and answer your question during one of these future broadcasts, be it in podcast or FBTV video like this. Also, if you'd rather, you can email me, fbtv@freightbrokertv.com. Plenty of forums on the website, freightbrokertv.com. Just a reminder, we're going to be revamping the Freight Broker TV website. That's it should be happening here in the next 3 to 4 weeks. So if you go there and it says, hey, this site's being rebuilt, under construction, or whatever they put up there, that's what's going on. Now, also, if you'd like, you can Skype me, or Skype us, I should say. Skype is available. Just Skype us at FBTV. You know, right there it is. Just do a search on your Skype for FBTV. You'll find our logo like you see down there in the bottom right of your screen, and be good to go. All right, like I said a moment ago, my name is Mike. I am the host for Freight Broker TV, also the host of the podcast. We try to do a couple of those every week. You can find the Freight Broker TV podcast using your favorite podcasting app, Spotify, Apple, whatever you're using. Matter of fact, we on iTunes, all of that. Anyway, you'll find us. Just whatever your favorite podcasting app is, just type in Freight Broker TV, and you should be able to find us. I am also the lead consultant for Tautoa. Tautoa is a training and consulting company. We've been doing this for pushing 30 years. We offer training for freight brokers, freight broker agents, trucking companies. Matter of fact, we put a video up just the other day about trucking companies, how they should be brokering their freight. If you've not seen that, you look through our Freight Broker TV YouTube channel, and you should be able to find it. But those of you that are wanting to start out as a broker agent, you're able to do so with Tautoa. The way that works is once you have completed your essential training, and we have 3 packages you can choose from. They start at $6.95 and go up from there. And they've been pretty much the same rate for years. They've moved around a little bit, but generally get back to those basics, $6.95. And the highest package we have is actually designed for somebody starting their own freight brokerage, be it, 3 to 6 months from now. They may already have their brokerage going. We have a lot of clients like that. A lot of clients, they go out and get their brokerage going and figure out that, hey, I really need to know a little bit more, and they come back to us, and that's when they come to us and choose one of the standard freight broker packages. That allows them to enter our mentorship program, because after they complete training, and even if you're starting as a freight broker agent, same thing. Once you complete your training, you have the option of entering our mentorship program. That's where you're going to be placed under a licensed broker through us, so you can begin your broker operation as a freight broker agent. It's paid as well. 60% commission on that, standard. All right, very good. If you want to learn more about that, go to Tautoa.com, TALTOA.com, or you can call and talk to me direct, 479-668-0838. All right, very good. Okay, the topic of this video is how to negotiate with your customer. Obviously, we're not going to go through every aspect, but some of the most common things. First of all, when you're negotiating with your customer, now, more times than not, your customer's calling in a load, or they're sending you an email. Some still might even be faxing. Some may have a website that you log into to see what loads they have available. But more times than not, the customer's telling you what they are paying to move the load. And that's where a lot of bad blood comes in between brokers and small trucking companies, is they don't understand. We're not setting the rates. A broker does not set the rate. Actually, the customer doesn't set the rate. Actually, if you want to get right down to it, the trucking company sets the rates. As long as there is a truck out there willing to haul it, and I'm, exaggerating here, but, for $1 a mile, the customer, the shipper, they have no reason to pay more than $1 a mile. Get the idea? But getting back to what our topic is today, negotiation with a customer, not a trucking company, a customer. They're telling you what they're paying to move the load. Now, if you just know flat out, hey, this load is never going to move for that rate. Never, ever, ever. If you go to your customer at that point and say, hey, really like to help you on this load, but man, your rate's too low. Believe me, your customer, that person in shipping that you're dealing with on a day-to-day basis, they already know their rate is too low. They know that. I mean, they hear it 100 times a day. And when a broker comes back and says something like that, a lot of times that can kind of get in their crawl. You know what I mean? Because they hear it. I mean, they know their rate's too low. They're tired of hearing it. This is what they got to work with. They're not the ones saying how much they can spend. Somebody else is telling them more times than not. And they got to live with it. Do they have more money they can pay on the load? Yeah, absolutely. But trying to tell the customer, yeah, hey, you're just way too low when you have nothing to negotiate with, because as a broker, until you've got a truck, you're negotiating with air. Do you see what I'm saying? You have nothing. You have no carrot on a stick, nothing. You just telling the customer, hey, that's not enough. That's not going to influence them whatsoever. So the thing to do is whenever your customer has a load like that, they send you a load, the rate's too low, post it. Just post it. Trucking company calls you, ask them, hey, what's it going to take for you to move the load? If you got your spot rate tools and things like that, check the rate. You're going to have an idea what the money needs to be on this load. You could even pitch the load to a trucking company at what the rate should be. All right. The point is, what we're doing is we're setting ourselves up to go back and begin a negotiation with the customer after we have obtained a truck. In other words, truck said, yeah, we'll do it. We're just going to tell the truck, hold on a minute, let me call my customer. That's when you're calling your customer back. Hey, Jim, that load going to nowhere anybody wants to go USA that you're not paying enough for. We're not going to say that, but you get the idea. I've got a truck for you, but the truck wants this much. Now, I'm just going to use easy numbers. Maybe the truck said yes, they'll do it for $1,000. Tell your customer $1,250. Okay, two things are going to happen. Well, maybe three. First of all, if the truck's wanting 1,000, well, you're going to want to go more than that. Tell you figure out how much money you got to have. Maybe you want $1,250. Tell your customer $1,300, $1,400, $1,500, something like that. You see what I'm saying? You're getting the number up there. Because they're going to counter. They will counter every time. Or they should. It's been my experience. If not, well, you're going to learn something about your customer at that point that you can use later. So let's say, you go back to your customer. The truck's wanting 1,000. You tell the customer 15. It's been my experience more than once. Customer comes back and says, well, let's see if that truck will split the difference with us. Go $1,250. You see what I mean? They're trying to negotiate you down, or they may even say, yeah, we'll do it. And occasionally, hopefully it's rare, your customer will come back and say, they could come back and say, no, hey, we're locked in at that rate. I can't pay a penny more. Situation like that, it is what it is. You can't do anything. You just got to go to the truck and say, hey, sorry, it's over. I can't do it. You get the idea. The main thing is the time to negotiate is not until you have a truck to negotiate with. Otherwise, you're just out there negotiating with the air. Now, another thing when it comes to negotiation is listening to the customer. The customer calls in a load. And I've had this happen to me a lot of times. It's a load I've usually moved in the past for X amount of dollars. No problem. The customer calls me. I got one of those loads. You want it? Yeah. They go, only one stipulation. It's got to be there in 24 hours or 48 hours or whatever. They put a time limit on it. Yeah, let me see what I can do. All right. Now try to follow me here because I should have graphics and I don't, but we'll make the best of it. So maybe the customer usually pays me $1,000 to move that load. Okay. And I'm just making up numbers here. Customer pays me $1,000 to move that load, but I caught something. They need that load there in a just-in-time delivery thing. They set a stipulation. Hey, it's got to be there tomorrow. We use that as the stipulation. Other times, it's taking 2 or 3 days. No biggie. Well, look at the mileage. Okay, if it's 900-mile load, usually be a 2-day run, but now the customer's wanting it there in 24 hours. They're wanting it there tomorrow. I'm not going to say anything yet, but I've caught it. Somebody screwed up. And what I mean by that is this is a hot load now. The customer has called you with this load. It's a hot load. They want it there quick. They're wanting to pay the same amount that they usually pay. Right now, I cannot say anything to that customer about that. The reason I can't say anything is simply if I do now without having a truck that has agreed to move it, they're gonna dig in their heels. Nope, that's all I got on. That's all I can pay on it. It's what we usually pay. So I'm not going to say anything yet. What I'm going to do is go out there and find me a truck. I'll let them know, hey, the customer wants it picked up today, deliver tomorrow. And generally, I'm looking for a team. And generally, I'm going to be working with that truck. I know what I've got to pay that truck, so I'm going to be using that amount of money. Because I've moved it before for that same amount of money. There's no reason why I shouldn't be able to move it now. So I get a truck. I'll go back to my customer. And this is when I drop the bomb. Hey, I got a truck to move that load, and yeah, they can deliver it tomorrow, but that's a 2-day run. And they said it's going to take a team, and they want this much more money. But I'm negotiating because I got a truck. Does that make sense at all? I've got a truck, now I've got something to negotiate with. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw my money up there. I'm going to say, yeah, you want it there, this is a hot load, just-in-time delivery. It's going to take a team to be able to get it there like you want it. You're paying $1,000, they're wanting 17 or 18 or whatever you want to throw up there. Always go high because I can always come down. If you start too low, you can never go up. But if you start high, you can always come down with the customer. That's a negotiation 101. And more times than not, the customer will come back and they will throw me a number that is the top dollar they can spend for that load. It might be $1,500. May even be my amount that I ask for. It just depends on how crucial the load is, how hot the load is. Believe me, in a situation like this, you've got to see the whole picture. Your customer knows. They know the truck's probably going to want more money. They know already they're going to need a team on this load to be able to get it delivered tomorrow. They know somebody messed up. Be it your customer messed up or their customer messed up, they've already talked about it. Okay, how much are we willing to pay to get a truck to move this load? It's already been discussed. So when I'm going back to the customer to start the negotiation, I'm throwing my rate a little bit higher than what I might think they do it for. Just more times than not, they're going to come back and they're going to shoot me back their top dollar they already discussed. It might be $1,500. They could add meetings. Yeah, it's probably going to take us 15 to get this load moved. All right, well, 15 be the top dollar. So when I say 17 or something like that, the customer comes back, hey, see if they'll do it for 15. Boom, got it. Okay, I don't know if any of that made sense or not. It did in my head, but my head, a lot of things make sense, though, that people don't get. Anyway, I hope that helps you. If you got any questions or anything, feel free to call me, 479-668-0838. Check out Tautoa. And by all means, have a great Friday, a great weekend, unless you've made other plans. See ya.